Hey, so Friday we had the opportunity to be in Gene Rivers' Team One class. It was amazing. If you haven't taken that, please do so like ASAP. One of the pieces, or what I'm going to share with you today, is a lot of what we've been talking about around hiring and training. What does that look like? So I'm going to make this brief, and I am going to refer to some of the notes. And I think this is clarity for some of you that went to the class, and then this is going to help some of you that weren't able to attend to kind of see next steps around hiring and how that all of this plays a part in that, right? So I trust this is going to bring great value to you. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Now you're going to see my notes, warts and all, so that's going to be really interesting. Okay, so one of the things that we look at, now this is on the way, what does it look like to build a business to 120 units, and who do we need to hire and by when? So we already know that when you're on track, right, you're doing 30 to 40 transactions a year. Makes sense. Okay, now if we're looking to grow, it's time to hire. What does that hire look like? Now, up to now, it may have looked like, thinking of it as like piecemeal. Like I needed some relief, so I hired a VA. I needed some relief, so I hired a transaction coordinator right outside of the team. But now I'm looking at making like that full or that solid hire in the business. That first admin, and I know my notes are all over this. This is somebody detail work, CSI or DC, when you're looking at the DISC profile. Their job's to take 80% off of your plate. They implement and solidify systems. They create and manage the budget. They define and implement office tools. They are your listing manager, closing coordinator, and your marketing director, right? Their background preference is some type of a bachelor's degree, logistics, systems, accounting, leadership. Now, that doesn't say that they have to have a business degree, but we're looking for somebody that you're not having to teach them how to be an admin. Odds are, as an agent, that's not the best use of your time or your skills, right? So you want them to come where you're going to, hey, we're going to teach you about real estate, and you're going to follow me around for, this next a month, and you're going to see what I'm doing. And you're based on that, you're going to help me build the systems, right? So that's the first thing that we look at when we're looking at that VA, and what does that piece look like? Okay, so first hire admin, right? Or you're the admin. You are your first hire, your business. And the second hire, the second one is the systems admin, right? If you look at the systems, budget, and tool. The third hire is the marketing admin. The fourth hire is the buyer's agent or showing partner, right? Because it really depends on, are we looking to continue to grow? If we are, then you leverage that through a buyer's agent. So operations, budget coordinator. These are the things that they look at. So these are some other pieces that I wanted to share with you. They're gonna that kind of goes in detail about what the 30, 60, 90 for this operations person. But this was, I thought, a key piece for us to really think about. A lot of times we hire our first hire and we're already thinking about next, and we should be. But you want to make sure that we are getting the systems in place that's going to increase customer service. It's going to allow you to be able to actually multiply your success, right? So what that looks like, we look at the 5 systems. So let's say that you bring in your person, your new hire. They fit that bucket, right? Who we're looking for to take our business to the next level. And we say, okay, here are the 5 systems that we want you to implement. This is during their 30, 60, 90. And you have maybe a binder with 5 tabs. One tab says lead generation, second says seller, second says third one says buyer, financial, and growth. And you're going to hand it to them, and you're going to say, hey, so these are your 5 systems that you're going to implement. There's nothing behind each one of these tabs. I want you to follow me. And start, because we all have systems. They're just not written. And so let them follow you for that first 30 days. And they're going, okay, this is what you're doing. This is what you're teaching me. So whenever you are going on an appointment, they're going on an appointment. When you are putting in a listing, they're putting in a listing, right? All of that with you. And that way, then they're going to come back and go, hey, this is the lead generation system. This is the cell. This is what we already have. This is what you already have in place. And now we can build upon that, right? Now, that's just a little bit of what that looks like. So then the third hire, right? Because you're the first hire, they're the agent. That third hire is the lead gen marketing person. So what does that look like? Now, again, we only bring in the second admin if we're looking to continue to grow. If we're not, we don't need that person, or we may go to a virtual assistant or something to that effect. But if we're still looking to grow, because in this, we're talking about growing to 120 units, right? This they're in charge of lead generation or marketing, right? Their profile, if you're looking at the DISC, ISIDDS, the lead generation, they are responsible for marketing mainly, but also prospecting and tracking. Database is their main tool, right? All the 36 touches, 12 directs, that type of thing, anything, just making sure that your website is amazing and that you're actually getting business from that and from social media, right? Now, this is where, if you noticed on admin 1, it said listing management as well. So this listing management is probably going to come down to this lead generation marketing, right? And then they're also client care. So that's kind of what that looks like. And that tells you a little bit about what kind of background you're looking for in this position. That's my dog saying hello. Now, something that I wanted to really point out here, and we look at success in that, right? So the admin 2, they're responsible to define the current level of lead generation numbers, targets for 5-year, 3-year, 1 year, conversion rates, the success determinants, increasing lead flow, increasing appointments, increasing ratio of listings and buyer leads, increasing pipeline, increasing closing unit. They're doing that through marketing and creative works, right? This person, what ideas are they coming? Branding, logos, style. Of course, the communication that they're doing. Then they're helping you create and make better those listing presentation and buyer presentations and pre-listings and those types of things. They're creating these types of offerings that you can do online. So, for instance, the during COVID, the how-to videos, right? Like those are the most watched videos. So doing those in your business, and they're going to create it. They're going to say, hey, this is what you do. And then you're going to record it, right? You're going to do the video or you'll create it, but they'll be setting all of those pieces up, right? So that's your marketing person. So just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like for anybody that wasn't able to attend the class. When you're looking at, a lot of times we hire that first person and we're like, we're going to go straight to marketing. Now, granted, do you do some marketing with them at first? Absolutely. Before we get into the marketing, we want to make sure that we've got some of the systems in place, right? So, because if you look at this 120 units, depending on how fast you'd like to get there, right? So, we can get there in a year with the hires, and then you experience the 120 the next year, right? So keeping that piece in mind, because we would hire like every 90 days. So that first hire we've got that admin, that's systems and that type of thing, and they're doing transaction flows and all of those pieces. Then when you get more systematic, or actually you need to grow to the next, then you bring in that marketing person, because their job is to just blow it up on the marketing, getting the phones ringing and that type of thing, right? And now you're ready to bring in that buyer's agent, right? So that's what that looks like. So I trust that helps some as far as who does what and what the first hire does versus the second hire. And so I just thought it would be a good thing for you guys to look at that. I'm also going to, when I send this out, if you'll go to the open source, there's going to be a link to a job description for an admin, the first admin. That way you're really getting, right? We talk about, we want systems into place. We've got to hire the person that thinks systems and creates those systems, right? That we started out with. And we looked at first admin, and I'm saying admin, first admin, it may be second admin, depends on how, but their job, right, take most of the 80% off of your plate. They create and manage the budget, define and implement office tools. They're your listing manager, closing coordinator, marketing director. So trust that helps and give you some information around what that looks like. And then we'll break this down specifically into your business. And again, go to the open source because the job description for that admin is going to be there. So talk with you guys soon. Bye.